Thinking, the talking of the soul with itself. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. Love is a serious mental disease. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. To love rightly is to love what is orderly and beautiful in an educated and disciplined way. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile. Courage is knowing what not to fear. A hero is born among 100, a wise man is found among 1,000, but an accomplished one might not be found even among 100,000 men. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. For a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. Dictatorship naturally arises out of democracy, and the most aggravated form of tyranny and slavery out of the most extreme liberty. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. The learning and knowledge that we have is, at the most, but little compared with that of which we are ignorant. There will be no end to the troubles of states, or of humanity itself, till philosophers become kings in this world, or till those we now call kings and rulers really and truly become philosophers, and political power and philosophy thus come into the same hands. If a man neglects education, he walks lame to the end of his life. The empty vessel makes the loudest sound. Democracy is a charming form of government, full of variety and disorder, and dispensing a sort of equality to equals and unequals alike. The measure of a man is what he does with power. No one is a friend to his friend who does not love in return. Any man may easily do harm, but not every man can do good to another. The man who makes everything that leads to happiness depends upon himself and not upon other men, has adopted the very best plan for living happily. This is the man of moderation, the man of manly character and of wisdom. Philosophy begins in wonder. Must not all things at the last be swallowed up in death? Entire ignorance is not so terrible or extreme an evil, and is far from being the greatest of all. Too much cleverness and too much learning, accompanied with ill bringing up, are far more fatal. Our object in the construction of the state is the greatest happiness of the whole, and not that of any one class. We do not learn, and what we call learning is only a process of recollection. There's a victory and defeat, the first and best of victories, the lowest and worst of defeats, which each man gains or sustains at the hands not of another, but of himself. And what, Socrates, is the food of the soul? Surely, I said, knowledge is the food of the soul. The blame is his who chooses, God is blameless. Truth is the beginning of every good to the gods, and of every good to man. To suffer the penalty of too much haste, which is too little speed. Courage is a kind of salvation. Whatever deceives men seems to produce a magical enchantment. No evil can happen to a good man either in life or after death. The rulers of the state are the only persons who ought to have the privilege of lying either at home or abroad. They may be allowed to lie for the good of the state. The eyes of the soul of the multitudes are unable to endure the vision of the divine. There must always remain something that is antagonistic to good. States are as the men, they grow out of human characters. A state arises, as I conceive, out of the needs of mankind. No one is self-sufficing, but all of us have many wants. The excessive increase of anything causes a reaction in the opposite direction. How can you prove whether at this moment we are sleeping and all our thoughts are a dream, or whether we are awake and talking to one another in the waking state? He who steals a little steals with the same wish as he who steals much, but with less power. I exhort you also to take part in the great combat, which is the combat of life, and greater than every other earthly conflict.